Today's ending reaction is Fate Zero. If you have not seen this series at all, and you do not want to be spoiled about various things, then please do not watch this video. Oh, okay, I'll watch anyway. Stupid! Ah! And if you have Crunchyroll, you can actually marathon through the episodes if you'd like. So you do that by clicking on the first episode. And this little curly arrow that says autoplay, you just click on that. And that's it. So if you haven't seen the series yet, then just go turn this off and watch the series right now. Then just come back to this video. You've been warned. So Fate Zero is the light novel prequel to Fate Stay Night. And just to be clear, I have not seen Fate Stay Night. And like a lot of you who also haven't seen it, I started watching Fate Stay Night after Fate Zero ended. So these novels are written by the same guy that wrote the same story for Madoka Magica. It kind of makes sense because then it explains why everything turns into a fantasy thriller kind of battle royale. So we're going to talk about the first thing that I really always like talking about, the art. The quality of the animation. So now this series is animated by ufotable, and I haven't really seen a lot of their works, but Fate Zero was animated really well. It was beautiful. I really like all the effects during the battles. Now it makes me want to talk about my favorite fight. My favorite fight was actually the very first fight between Saber and Lancer. Now I know Saber's been a really popular character for a really long time. Had no idea who she was, even though she was always on pachinko, in commercials, on t-shirts, on pillows, on your pillow. But for me, that fight was a really good introduction to how everybody was going to fight in the entire series. And I get really nerdy when they start explaining things during the fight, so I kind of nerded out a little bit on the whole strategy of it all. My second favorite fight is kind of the fight that came almost right after it, and that's Saber's first fight with Berserker. And I thought it was really cool that Berserk's Grand Phantasm was anything he wanted it to be, which kind of makes this stupid crazy character that doesn't really say anything make up for a lot. I was a teeny bit disappointed that the rest of the fights of the series didn't really have me nerding out as much. Yeah, right, no, I was totally nerding out about mostly everything. I really liked how Lancer and Saber were really just fighting in the name of honor! How Asian. And I know everybody's heart is really into Ryder's death, but Lancer's death really caught me off guard. Like, I was also frustrated. I think I even cried a little, okay, maybe a lot. And it's funny because at first I really did not like the Lancer character. Because I didn't really know if he was created because I was, you know, he's supposed to look all sexy and cool. Was I supposed to swoon over that? Or the fact that he looks like Zax from Final Fantasy VII because, yes, I will swoon over Zax. And someone for me who kind of started out a little bit boring and soulless, his death just kind of made me, aww, Lancer. So apparently that's the way to do it, guys. If you want a girl to really like you, you die. I really loved everybody's character designs. Although it did take me 10 or 15 minutes to realize that the character talking to Kide at the church was actually just Archie with his hair down. The whole time I'm like, new character? Where did he come from? And yes, I did like Ryder. I loved his design the most, actually. And I liked that he was a man of principle. I wish I had a friend like Ryder. I wish my dad was Ryder. Then I'd probably end up looking like a really buff Viking. And I know he's not a Viking, just so I could, like, train my dragon. And I know they had to cram in a lot of things, but I was kind of hoping they'd go into some of the backstories of some of the characters in Ryder's army. Because a lot of them looked really damn cool. Like the messenger guy, man! And the other guys that I don't know who they were, but they still looked pretty badass. Them. Another thing that I was really geeking out about is that when Castor thought that Saber was Joan of Arc, and it kind of got me thinking, maybe she was Joan of Arc in a past life, and then somehow Saber's gonna figure that out, and then she's gonna have new moves, some Joan of Arc moves that are different from King Arthur moves. She has like double, what is this? What is this? A scepter! Pajama! But then that didn't really happen, and then I was kind of sad. But mostly I felt kind of dumb. You can't really see, but this thing's flashing. Pretty sure I'm gonna have a seizure in like 5 seconds. I think out of all the Master's death, I think the one that was the best executed was the Master for Castor. I thought his death was really dramatic. You weren't sad for the guy, but you were still thinking about his death even after watching it. Whoever's his voice actor did a really good job of making you hate him, but yet making you watch his death scene without feeling any hatred at all. We were just kind of like, oh, man. So even though I hated Castor and his master, I really thought that their relationship and their dynamic was really interesting. Evil people have friends too. So the ending, although super epic, got me really confused, and I had to kind of think about the ending over and over to see if I understood it right. Kiritsugu gets Saber to try and destroy the Holy Grail. And when the Holy Grail was being destroyed, or not being destroyed, ISV to period blood, period lava blood, it started, you know, going everywhere, killing everybody. And what about Ilya? Ugh, Come on, Dad, you work too much. And I think it's safe to say that I've thoroughly geeked out over every episode of this entire series. Out of all the things that I have seen, this series is truly a masterpiece. Everything was executed really well, the character relations, you were emotionally invested, you were awed by all of the effects in the fights, and apparently even for those who've already seen Fate Stay Night.
Excuse me while I clean out the ice cream that was suddenly thrusted into my face.
Bad Bana! Watching the series kind of left me with a heavy heart. I kind of wanted the world peace too, but it kind of made you feel such a thing was just impossible. Even with the Holy Grail, it's impossible. You can't truly have world peace. So anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents. Please share your opinion in the comments. That's it for me for this video. See you next time. I command you to comment. I command you. The series kind of left me with a heavy heart. Oh my gosh, what the heck? That's creepy. Thank you for ruining my take. I have to do it all over again.
You didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything.